Hey everybody, welcome back to Nerd News Today. I'm Matthew, and on this episode, it's time for Mortal Kombat. Although not really, because I don't want to get arrested, because if you did that stuff in real life, that wouldn't be good. Today we're taking a look at Diamond Select's Legends in 3 Dimensions half-scale bust of Scorpion. Scorpion is a fan favorite from the Mortal Kombat series. He has been there since day one, and this piece right here is a beauty. It's very sharp also too. So Mortal Kombat 2 is actually celebrating a very big anniversary this year, and that means last year was a very big milestone for the original series. So it's really a perfect time to be nostalgic about that series and really talk about my love of the game, because who didn't love all those guts and gore, and also, quite honestly, by the time MK2 popped up, a lot more of the dark comedy that came along with that game. But we're not here to wax nostalgic about games, we're here to talk about this half-scale bust, so let's get into it. And I do want to mention to you guys how this is packaged, and like all the Legends in 3D pieces, and really any resin piece from Diamond or Gentle Giant for that matter, they're just in a very plain box. There's really not much excitement to these guys. It's a black box, you got a Mortal Kombat logo on one side, you've got their Legends in 3D on another. You've got a very, very, very brief bio, which you can barely see on the packaging, and I wish they would fix that, but what are you going to do about it? It also lets you know the exact number of the pieces here, and we should mention that this Scorpion is limited to only 1,000 pieces. Our packaging also lets us know that this was designed by Joe Allard and sculpted by Salvador Gomez. And I want to mention also that all of these pieces typically come with a certificate of authenticity in the form of a little card here. And what's interesting about this card is that the information is actually different than what you saw on the back of the box. So according to this was designed again by Joe Allard, but sculpted by Rocco Tardamella. So who actually sculpted this? Well, according to my research and based on the Sub-Zero Legends in 3 Dimension bust that preceded this Scorpion here, it actually would be Salvador who made this. So I'm guessing that this card is a mistake here, and it's really weird because this is a production piece I have in my hands today. This isn't like a proto or an artist proof or anything like that. This is what's currently for sale. So I'm going to assume that anybody who has this piece also has a misprinted card with this wrong information. But as far as I can tell, it is Salvador who sculpted this piece. So let's get into the nitty gritty of our Scorpion here, and this is a really cool piece. This is a half-scale bust, meaning it is half the size compared to a actual human being. You can see here how perfect we are together. This thing is so cool to look at, I gotta tell you guys. Like, everything about it, from the face, the mask, the outfit, and especially the really cool flaming base. Like, this thing screams Scorpion, and I'm sure if you were on the other end of seeing this face, you'd be screaming things too. So I want to talk a little bit right now about the face, and you really can't see a ton of the face, so I'm not going to really call this likeness necessarily, but talking about some of the sculpting detail, it's a really cool, very menacing looking Scorpion here. And keep in mind, this is of course an undead character, so he has no pupils. He has the absence of pupils essentially there. And as far as like his mask that he's wearing, I'm not entirely sure which game this is actually based off of. Now, I'm sure some folks who are watching this who are big Mortal Kombat fans, bigger than me, will be able to tell me exactly what game this is from. So if you know, go ahead and let me know in the comments which MK this Scorpion is based on. As far as I can tell, I think it might just be really kind of like Diamond's own interpretation of the character, and that's totally fine, because it's a great interpretation, and again, very different from how the Sub-Zero looked in their last bust as well. There's a really great detailing on the vents as well, and it actually is textured, which I was surprised to see there. The way it looks, it almost feels like it's just like decal or printed onto it, but no, it's actually all textured on that. And likewise, the entire piece has an excellent texture, and it's all different across the board. You know, the skin is the smoothest part of it, but like I mentioned already with the mask, this has some vent feeling there, some tactile sensations there. The outfit he has on top, his balaclava, has a similar kind of texture. We have on this part of the gi collar, it's a, again, different type of texture. And likewise with this whole waffle pattern he has in his yellow outfit, very different. So around the board, as far as like a tactile feeling goes, this thing is wonderful to hold, with of course one exception, which would be the very, very sharp and pointy base that I'm currently holding it with, because man, this hurts. And while I'm being stabbed by this base, which is very appropriate for a Mortal Kombat statue, let's spend some time talking about it, because this is like classic Scorpion right here. This is Hellfire coming right out of the ground, supporting our undead character here. And like I said already, it's very sharp, and I can't get over that because it's like pinching into my hand here, but it's this really great translucent plastic that's got this yellow, orangey, red glow to it. It would look really great if you had a light underneath it. So if you have some LED lights to put underneath the statue wherever you're displaying it, it's going to really brighten this thing up. Likewise too, we've already talked about the limited number and such. On the bottom of the base, you have the number once again of the statue. So there it is in case you lose this, or you lose the box, or you lose your mind. So the texture is great, but I also want to spend some time talking about the paint application here too, because this is clean as, well, you know how to finish that sentence here. But from the eyebrows down to those pupils I already mentioned, to the paint patterns in the mask, and a lot of the weathering and effects that are kind of painted into the wardrobe of Scorpion here, it's on point. Like, there really is no excess slop. The worst I could say about it is towards like where the mask meets the face. There's a little bit of a darker red line there. It's there on purpose, I'm pretty sure. It's kind of there, I think, to help also push the mask back a little bit, help it push back into space, because yellow is a weird color to work with. And this mask is this kind of like grimy yellow-brown mask too. It's yellow, but it's got some weather on it. But yeah, really the only nitpick I could say is that there's just a little bit of like red line here and there, a little bit of pink line, I should say, for that matter. But I personally think it actually helps it. Like this kind of reminds you of if you were painting minifigures, for example, and it's kind of like a line you would do to accent it. So not so much a mistake, but more of something to accentuate the features and kind of pull you into more of the color as well. Because really, this is a piece that's kind of essentially two colors. It's black and it's yellow. But they're doing a lot with those colors and those family of values to go with it to help it pop a little bit more. Now, as far as price point goes, this Scorpion will set you back for an MSRP of $160, but certain places have them for about $140, and chances are you could probably find them for a little bit cheaper as you go on. Resin pieces are always much more expensive than PVC because they're a lot heavier, there's a lot more material. This is, after all, completely solid as opposed to like a PVC piece that you'd see from like a Marvel gallery or one of the Mortal Kombat galleries, for example. And similarly, this base is also resin. This thing is heavy. I mean, this has some serious heft to it. If you said finish him, I'd bash somebody in the head with it. So you're paying for what you get here, and you're paying for that weight, you're paying for that size, and you're also paying for that stability. Because this is a piece you're gonna set down somewhere and it's not gonna fall over. It's gonna stand up nice and straight, and it's gonna look gorgeous. So for this price point, it's spot on. Really no complaints here. There's really nothing I would do differently with it either. So no complaints here. I'm really enjoying this piece. And likewise, if you already bought the Sub-Zero from this series, you gotta have Scorpion to go with it. Now, what's next for the series? I don't quite know, but there's plenty of characters out there that they haven't done in this style. So let me know who you would like to see Diamond Select do in the Legends in 3D Mortal Kombat series. Now, if you want to pick up this Scorpion for yourself, go ahead and check out my links in the description for this video below for a few different places you can pick it up. If you click on any of those affiliate links, they help support this YouTube channel at no extra cost to you. So that's our look at the Legends in 3D Scorpion half-scale bust from Diamond Select. I can't recommend it enough. I feel like I'm wielding it like a weapon now. Like, this is one of the later Mortal Kombat games. Like, not Mortal Kombat 4. Never Mortal Kombat 4. But yeah, this thing is totally a weapon. I love this thing. Can't wait to display it. And I think you're going to like this too. So thank you guys for watching. I'm Matthew. This has been Nerd News Today. We'll see you guys later. And I want to say finish him, but that sounds like a weird way to end a video. So see you guys later.